What's up friends, Chook here, and welcome to my Monster Hunter World Guide. This guide is aimed at players new to the series, and anyone that may not know or understand certain aspects of the game. If you're a veteran of the series, you'll most likely know everything I mention in this video, but for all the players new to Monster Hunter World, hopefully you'll find something here that will help you in your journey. Today we're going to be looking at all of the NPCs in Astera, what they do, and why they're important. So there will be mild spoilers in this video for the NPCs and things that you can unlock, but there won't be any spoilers as far as story or anything that goes. So let's get started. There's quite a few NPCs in here that we need to talk to regularly and get in the habit of talking to. So this video may be a little bit longer than the others, but hopefully it's helpful. So the first ones are these guys. So this is the resource center, and I would get in the habit of talking to basically everyone that I talk to here after each hunt, and I'll explain why as we go through. But the resource center has three parts to it, so we'll just skip all this text because I don't know why they have to say the same thing every single time you talk to them. It's kind of annoying, but they do. So we've got register bounties, manage investigations, and complete deliveries. All three of these are very useful and important. So the first thing is registering bounties. What bounties are they're just little kind of side quest things that you can achieve and do while you're on a hunt. So you can see here, this is a brute wyvern. I've got ecological survey, brute wyvern hunt. Hunt three large high rank brute wyverns. So when I hunt three of them, just by doing normal hunts and everything, once three of them are dead, I will get 600 research points and a hard armor sphere. This is a brute wyvern capture, same thing. Once I capture two large high rank brute wyverns, I'll get 500 points and a hard armor sphere. Once I gather 10 honey, and this is also honey, so this is gather 7 honey, and this is gather 10 honey. I've already got 3, which leaves 7. So the next time I gather 7 honey, I'll complete both of these bounties. And this is a flying wyvern capture and a fanged wyvern capture. So you will basically just complete these as you play the game. When you complete one or two or however many, make sure that you add in a new one. So if I delete, say, fanged wyvern capture here, remove from list, yes. So let's just, hypothetically, we just completed that one. You come here, you hand it in, you get your rewards and everything, and then you pick a new one. So we've got here, slay 30 high-ranked small monsters, 3 large monsters, capture 1 large Python wyvern, hunt 4 high-rank large monsters, large monster capture 3 times, or gather 12 mushrooms. So I'm just going to put in, like, I'll put in this small monster culling, right? This is just 30 high-rank small monsters. While you're just fighting and hunting like normal, you're going to kill 30 small monsters over time, and you just get a free research points and everything for it. So make sure that you come back here after every hunt, hand in any bounties that you've completed, and register new ones. Super important. You'll get a lot of research points and armor spheres for doing so. Otherwise, if you don't do them, you might struggle to upgrade your gear with the armor spheres, because this is definitely a really good way of getting those. You also have critical bounties, and as you play the game and as you progress, you will unlock these, and these are just critical bounties, basically, exactly what they say. Ones to be done as soon as possible. So collect 10 Gajalaka tracks, however you say that. Capture a pink Perexis, that's a fish. You'll just get these as you play, and you can do them in your own time, but they're called critical bounties, but they're kind of like missions that you will get from NPCs, whereas these are ones that you can select the ones you want. And then you'll have limited ones. These change every week. So this week it was clear 3 quests in a specified locale, which was Ancient Forest, complete 5 6-star quests, and kill Slay Val Hazak 4 times. Once you do all those 3, you get those rewards, and then you get this reward for completing all of those bounties. So that's bounties. Make sure you always have them registered, and you're doing them and handing them in, and just get used to that. Next is investigations. This is super important, more important than bounties. So what investigations are is when you're out and about hunting and doing your things, you will just uncover and discover, that's what I'm trying to say, investigations. So when you are killing monsters or you're picking up their tracks, their footprints, their mucus on the trees and all that sort of stuff, occasionally it will say on the right hand side investigation added. That's where this comes in. You can see I've got 5 new ones here. So this one, for example, is a capture investigation to capture a Diabolos. And why these are important and why you should be focusing on these is this. If we go back to the quest board and say you're progressing through the story, right? And we'll just go back to like some early quests here. So say you're progressing and you're up to this one, Flying Sparks Tobikadachi. And all you have to do is go out, hunt the Tobikadachi, and it's done. You can't repeat this. You just can't do it. So what people are doing, I've discovered, is going into the optional quests and going, okay, I need to find a Tobikadachi. Here's one, the current situation in optional 3. And they just keep doing this one over and over and over again. That's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to do investigations. And the reason is, actually, if we do that, that's a good point of reference. If we go to optional, and we go to 3, and we go to the Tobikadachi one, we can see that the reward money is 3,240 Zen. And you have 50 minutes to do it. You can faint 3 times. If we go back into here and go to investigations and go not registered and go to 3-star, hopefully there's a Tobikadachi one in here somewhere. There we go. 100 Tobikadachi. The reward money is 2,700, so it's a little bit less. Time limit is 50 minutes, but you can faint 5 times in this particular investigation. And you can see in the rewards that you get a bronze, a silver, and a gold reward. Those bronze, silver, gold rewards, they have a table attached to them of what could be in each reward. Obviously, the gold rewards are going to have better stuff in them than the bronze ones, but you get extra rewards for completing this quest. Or this investigation. But every investigation that you will uncover will have different attributes to it. So this one has maximum of 2 players, can faint 5 times, has 50 minutes, and has a bronze, silver, and gold reward. Whereas if we've got another, we don't have another one. But say this Zitsuyaku one, faint 3 times, maximum of 4 players, still 50 minutes, but has 3 silver rewards. So you want to go through and try and get investigations and find the investigation for the monster you're trying to farm up or hunt or get its parts or whatever, and get an investigation with the best rewards possible. So if you were trying to get the parts for the Juria to whatever this guy's, the fish is what I call it, obviously, this would be a good one because you get 2 gold rewards out of it. You also get 2 bronze, but you get 2 gold rewards out of it. This becomes increasingly effective and important in high rank when you are trying to get gems of certain monsters. So if you're fighting a, I don't know, say a Rathalos in high rank and you need a Rathalos gem, the chances of getting that gem from carving or capturing is quite low. It's like 1 or 2%, maybe 3%. But getting that gem in a gold reward might be like 15%. And in a silver, it might be like 11% or something. So the rewards are very, very important. And always be doing investigations over optional quests if you're farming for materials. Do the optional quests anyway, and you can see here if we go back that I have done basically all of them apart from these. Every other tier I've done all of them. Make sure that you do the optional quests with the little speech bubble next to them, like these ones, because you will get a reward for doing so. The other ones you can just do as a completionist or whatever, but yeah, get the ones with the speech bubble next to them done because you do get rewards. Okay, so that's basically investigations out of the way. Super important. Do them over optional quests and farm up that way with the gold rewards and everything. Next is complete deliveries. You will get quests from time to time from NPCs around the city and everything, and in other places where you will have to hand in something. So for this one, we needed to hand in 500 research points and a coral bone. And doing so, it says the ancient tree needs rich fertilizer to reach its full potential. That's where our research comes in. So if we hand in the required items, so the points and the coral bone, we will get a rich fertilizer. Do these. This is part of the this will go hand in hand with those speech bubble optional quests, where people will be like, go out and gather all this stuff for me. Then you have to come here and deliver it. This becomes even more important when you find a new camp in a map. So here we've got setting up camp Ancient Forest 1. If you find a new camping spot, your handler will say like, oh, I think we could camp here. Maybe we should go back and report it or whatever. And I've had some real life friends that have come to this game for the first time in the series, didn't know what was going on, and said, hey man, I discovered this new camp, but I can't start there, or I can't even go there. What's the deal? And you have to come back here and hand in the delivery. So here, this one's 50 research points, 2 iron ore, 1 ancient bone, hand that in, and you get the new camp that you can start from, and all is well. So yeah, make sure that you just get in the habit of coming and checking on these guys. I do it after every single quest, even if I don't have an investigation done or bounty done. It's just habit to come and check all 3 of these things and make sure there's nothing to actually hand in. But that is these guys, super important. Granted, that took quite a while to get through, but it was fairly important. Next guy to make sure that you visit quite often as well is this dude, the chief ecologist. So what will happen is when you go out and you hunt monsters and you pick up their footprints and all that sort of stuff, you will get research points. Yes. The more research points you get, the higher the tier of research you will get for that monster. So we can see here, for me, I've got research 6 on Great Jagras, Puki, Baroth, etc. But I've only got 4 on Yulu Yaku. So if I went out and did an investigation for the Yulu Yaku, or just went to the forest in an expedition and gathered his materials and stuff and killed him enough times or whatever, I would go up a level in this research. Then I would have to come back and talk to this dude to unlock the next tier of that research. So if you've just been going out and hunting, say, for 10 hours you've been playing this game and you've never talked to this dude, when you come here, you'll have a heap of monsters pop up with research points done, which will unlock the next tier for them, for you to research them more. The more you research a monster, the more you know about it. So if we go to here to Hunter's Notes, we go to Monster Field Guide, we can see the Great Jagras I've researched up to tier 6, so I know everything about this monster. Useful information on the right, characteristics down the bottom, how many times I've hunted it, how many times I've captured it, etc. What's more important is its physiology, so you can see that it's really weak to fire, it's not weak to water at all, it's moderately weak to thunder and ice, and it's barely weak to dragon. But all the ailments, poison, sleep, paralysis, blast, stun will destroy this thing. And you can also see its weak points and what it is, how weak it is to certain things. So that's not great sword, hammer, and heavy bowgun. Those icons are meaning is bladed weapons, blunt weapons, and ranged weapons. So the sword icon is of anything with blade. So sword and shield, long sword, great sword, lance, whatever. The blunt weapons, hammer, hunting horn, that type of thing. Or the sword and shield also does blunt damage, whatever. And then the range is obviously the 3 gunning weapons. Shows you the low rank rewards. On the right hand side, carves. The more stars, the more frequency you are going to get those materials. So if you needed a Great Jagras scale, you can see there that it's got 6 stars. Is it 6 or is it 5? It's 5. I can't see properly. For carving it, whereas under the rewards tab, the scale only has 4. So the rewards tab is for capturing, and the carves is for carving. So if you wanted a scale, you would be better off killing the Great Jagras and carving it. So that is, whereas if you wanted to hide, it would be the opposite. If you want to hide, you better chance of capturing it, getting it if you captured it. Also shows you, if you break their parts, what they give you, what it can potentially give you as a reward. So if you break its head, you'll get a main. If you break its chest, you'll get a hide, etc. And then same thing for high rank. And this goes through all the monsters, which I won't go through because I don't want to spoil anyone for any monsters coming up if you're not that far in the game. But as you can see, all these, I've got 6. The Yulu Yaku I don't have. So you can see here that I have the frequency and everything for the rewards for low rank, but I don't have it for high rank. So if I wanted to know what's better to get the Plume Plus, for example, whether to carve it or capture it, I don't know, because I haven't researched it enough. So get in the habit of talking to this dude after every hunt, and don't let your research of monsters stack up. Next is this guy, the Botanical Research. This is your farm. So this tree will let you farm. Again, this is minor spoiler. Eventually you'll unlock this. And
Harvest.
again, he has unnecessary text. But you will start off with only one of the boxes. I've got 3, and you will only start off with 10. Because you have 1 box, you only have 10 inventory. I have 30 because I have 3 boxes. But effectively, you can cultivate all sorts of different things in here. So I'm doing honey at the moment because I'm a bit low on honey because I need to make some mega potions and some other things with honey. So I'm currently doing honey. If you're short on money on Zenny, early game, if you do mite seeds, grow mite seeds and fertilize them. So if we go to fertilize, we can see I've got a lot unlocked, obviously, but fertilizer will do plants. Mushroom substrate will obviously do mushrooms. Summoner jelly will do honey and bugs. And catalyst will make it so that it speeds the whole process up. And then these are just improved versions of that. So if you could do mite seeds and fertilizer, mite seeds sell for 140 Zenny. If you don't have access to mite seeds yet, I think you get them in, the first time you see them is in the Wildspire Way. So if you're still in the forest, just do null berries because they're 120. And they're, 40 Zenny each isn't really that big of a deal. But if you can harvest 10 lots of these, you'll probably get, like if we go to collect harvest, see I'm getting 8 honey per harvest. So say early game, we'll just collect all of this now that I'm in here. Early game, if you're collecting 10 lots of fertilized nullberries, you might get like 4 or 5 per thing, and you get 10 of them, and then sell them, and you make some decent cash. It's not the best way of making cash, but it's free, effectively. You also have just the basic vendor here, who will sell all sorts of stuff. You can buy straight to your pouch, or you can buy straight to your box, and he has a whole heap of stuff. When you get to, I think it's HR 10, I believe at least, you have the option to buy, the ability to buy the Power Charm and Armor Charm. I would definitely buy them as soon as you possibly can. They're quite expensive at 36,000 and 24,000, but they will give you free stats. So I think the Power Charm gives you an extra 6 attack, and I think the Armor Charm must give 6 armor. I'm just guessing, but I'm pretty sure it's 6. So that's just free stats, but you have to have it in your bag with you. So if we look at my item pouch, we can see that I have my Power Charm here and my Armor Charm here. I also have a Power Talon and Armor Talon, which you can craft with a Power Charm and a certain part of a certain monster, but that is later on in the game, and this video is obviously aimed at beginners, so don't worry about that. But as soon as you get access to Power Charm and Armor Charm, definitely buy them. Keep it in your bag with you at all times. Eventually, you will unlock the Elder Melter. That might even be high rank, so we'll go over it really quickly. The gist of this is that she will be able to melt items, decorations, and do this ritual. But the long and short of it is, I need some max potions. So I want a max potion. And you can see in the middle of the screen, melting points needed is 30. And you can see over on the right, the ingredients, how much each ingredient is worth. So iron ore is worth 2 points. So if I needed 30 points, I would have to give her 15 of these, and that would get me a max potion. So it's basically trading certain items for other items. It's fairly expensive and not really worth it, in my opinion, unless you need something particularly badly. And then later on, you can meld, like, you can use certain things to get certain monster parts as well. So if you needed, like, a Rathian plate, for instance, you could give her a Silver Wyverian print, which you will get by just playing the game and stuff, and get that rather than having to farm for it over and over and over again. So that's the melter. Next thing I would do, well, like the next NPC I would talk to, again, this is minor spoilers. You have your room, obviously, but as you progress through the game, your room gets bigger and better. This is my room here with all these giant figure wasps, which I think is hilarious. Talk to your housekeeper, and he will give you the ability eventually to, once you unlock it, to do Tail Rider Safari. Early game, this is pretty good. Late game, it's not really that important. But what this effectively lets you do is, we'll call back Safari so I can do it and show you. You go Tail Rider Safari, deploy Tail Rider Safari, and you will have a list of Pelicos and Tail Riders and stuff of people that you've played with. And you can see down the bottom the hunting, gathering, and research abilities of each of them. So all these guys are all maxed out. So you just pick one, whatever. And then if you'll be in low rank, I assume, if you're watching this. But if not, high rank, whatever. And you just pick which area you want to go to. So if you're particularly looking for, say, Tobikadachi parts, you could go, okay, there's a Tobikadachi, and there's a Tobikadachi in this one as well. So you could send out your Tail Riders, say, on this quest, and each segment of it is worth one hunt. So if you go on a hunt, you can come back and collect that whatever herb they gather. The next one, you can come back and collect whatever that little creature is. The next one, you can come back and collect the Kuriyaku gear that they get. The next one, you can collect the moss mine. The next one, you'll get the Tobikadachi. Or you can wait all 5 quests out. You just go out and keep hunting, doing your thing, and eventually after 5 quests, you'll get a little notification saying that the Tail Riders have returned. You come back here and collect them all at once. Or in any order you want. You can come back after 3 and collect 3 and wait for the next 2, or cancel it, or whatever you want. So early game, if you're particularly wanting parts of a certain monster, this is a good way to do it. So, you know, if you're lucky, you will get... so here, for instance, Coral Highlands, say you really needed Lagania parts. This quest has 2 Lagania in it. So that would be really handy to get some extra Lagania parts doing it that way. At high rank, like I said, it's not too difficult because not too crucial because you probably have a lot of these parts anyway. And if you need something, say you needed a Odogaron part, rather than doing 5 quests, 5 hunts to wait for it to get to the Odogaron, you could just go out and hunt an Odogaron and kill it fairly easily. But in low rank, it is quite handy. But what I use it for is I use quite a bit of dash juice with the weapons that I use. And dash juice is dropped by Diablos and the Zitsuyaku. So I quite often will go to low rank and find either a Diablos in the Wildspire Waste or a Zitsuyaku in the Coral Highlands, and there's one at the end of this and there's one here. So I'll just pick this one, whatever. And my Tail Rider Safari will come back in 5 quest time, and they will most likely bring me back at least 1 dash extract, I should say, not dash juice, from those quests, and then I can turn that dash extract into dash juice. And then that means that I don't have to go out and kill Zitsuyakus or Diaboloses over and over and over again to keep my stock up. That kind of keeps my stock fairly decent because I'm getting it for free effectively every 5 quests or so. I'm getting usually 1 or 2 or 3. So when I do use the bow or the dual blades or something that I use the dash extract on, it's relatively replenished by the time I get there. Okay, we're getting near the end. Next thing is the canteen. Your handle is here. You can accept quests from her or from any of the boards. It's a good idea to try and get into the habit of at least trying to get into the habit of accepting your quests from her, because if you accept a quest, it takes a while for that quest to load. You can't just accept the quest and go into it straight away. And this is right next to the canteen. So this will get you in a good habit of accepting a quest, eating the food, and then by the time the food's done, the quest should be basically ready to go. I fall into the trap and habit of just accepting a quest at a board and then forgetting to eat and then going into the quest. And then luckily, once you're in a hunt, you can go to any of the camps and eat at the canteen there, which is really nice. But a slight spoiler, in high rank, when you go into a hunt, you don't necessarily get dropped off at the camp that you chose. Sometimes they just drop you off in the middle of the map somewhere. And if they drop you off in the middle of the map and you haven't eaten and a monster starts attacking you, you're at a disadvantage. So try and get in the habit of accepting quests from her, and then while the quest is loading, eat at the canteen, and then by the time you've finished eating, you're good to go. This cat, the chef cat, and this Fiverr Bro guy here will quite often have quests for you. So make sure when you're in town that you just look at your map and see if there's any exclamation marks, and if there are, come and talk to whoever it be. But I know that these two have quite a few. And then the last NPC that you want to make good friends with is the Smithy, which is obvious. She will also have quests from time to time, but she otherwise is basically useless. Everything she sells is really shit. And like her armor is crap as well. So she's basically useless apart from collecting quests, but the Smithy is obviously super useful, and this is where you'll make all your gear. I might do a gear crafting video on its own, but we'll quickly go over this as quickly as I can. The main thing the Smithy does obviously is craft gear, but you can also set your decorations here when you get to that. I'll do a different video on the crafting and decorations and all that sort of stuff. But effectively, you can forge your equipment here. You can upgrade your equipment here, and probably an important part that a lot of people that are new to the series don't know, and it's new to this game. So maybe even certain people that have played Monster Hunter games before don't know, is you can actually add things on a wish list, which is super handy. So say we wanted to upgrade our Buster Sword, okay, which is just the crappy starting greatsword. So we wanted to upgrade it to this Buster Sword 2, and you didn't have any iron ore at all, and it's like you need 2 iron ore. You can press triangle. I'm on PS4, so it's triangle, and that will add it to your wish list. And then entry added. So now you can go back out of this, and you can go to info. Oops. And then down to wish list, and you can keep an eye on certain items that you want. You can store up to 6, and it will show you, what you need. So, say you're like me, I've got a few things that I want. Rather than having to come back, go on a hunt, and then go, oh, did I get what I needed? I don't know. I'll go to the Smithy and I'll go on the upgrade tree and check every single time after a hunt whether I got what I needed. You can just put it on the wish list, and then when you get all the parts needed, when you come back from a hunt and get back to Astera, it'll come up with a little pop-up saying, Imperial Shimmer, all parts needed or something. It'll effectively give you an alert saying that you've got everything you needed for the item in your wish list, which is super cool. So you can go through each one individually and have a look at what you need, or you can press R1 and it will show you all the things that you need. So we need 1 gem, we need 2 tails, we have none. We need 5 horns, but we already have 1, and we need 2 gems, of which we have 0. And so then it breaks it down. So it says, Daora gem times 2, and then on the right hand side it shows you for which pieces you need them. So we need 5 horns for that shimmer, we need 2 for that sword, we need the 1 gem for that, and 1 gem for either of those, for both of those. But I'll probably do another video, like I said, on particularly decorations and crafting those and setting those and saving those and everything. But that is basically all of the important NPCs in the main hub that you want to talk to and get in the habit of talking to. So once you put certain items on the wish list, you can, and say you're farming just for that, you're not doing progression or anything, you don't really need to come back and talk to the Smithy after every hunt, unless you can craft something. But I would definitely get in the habit of talking to the plant guy, this dude, and making sure that your box isn't full of goodies that you haven't been collecting or selling off or whatever you're doing, and make sure that anything you are growing is always fertilized. So I would check him after every hunt. I would check this guy after every hunt to make sure that your research is up to date, and I would check these guys after every hunt to make sure that you're handing in any bounties that you've completed, handing in any deliveries that you have done, and also assigning yourself any new investigations that you have achieved and unlocked. And remember to always do the investigations over the optional quest if you're farming for gear. And that is pretty much it. I know that was a bit of a long one, but hopefully that helped some of you out. like I mentioned, I've got a few friends that are new to the series and never played it before and didn't know investigations were a thing, didn't know about the research guy, and went there and just had a flood of all these research points and everything for each monster and stuff. So yeah, just get in the habit of talking to these dudes after every quest, and then it would just become second nature and you'll just do it out of habit. Either way, hopefully it was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you did learn something and that was helpful for you. Otherwise, as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.